Hello everyone, this is part 51 of What If Naruto Figured It All Out, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. My mother, Yondaime, Konoha and even Sasuke. Naruto's heart was pulsing with anger in front of the man who caused all the suffering he has passed in his childhood. He had no parents thanks to him. He was seen as a monster by his village due to the actions of Phoenix, one of the Uchiha's clan biggest warriors. You have to s. If I knew you had K-Frig, you would have never joined Akatsuki, Toby. Pain said and then grinned. He laughed. So you are Phoenix. I have heard about you. Phoenix stared his leader. So, you rush over Kaoru because you wanted to become immortal and have another wish fulfilled, am I wrong? The Uchiha startled. Another wish? Jiraiya asked, confused. Yes, Pain assured. Didn't your kid s? Phoenix eyes opened wide. Jiraiya remembered that. Phoenix had a child that s in the last big war. Was him, who you wanted to get back. How did Pain know about that? Plus, he had read right through him. Pain smiled seeing he has caused a surprise in his underling. Wasn't Obito cheerful and always making jokes, playing with everybody? Phoenix's lower lip began to tremble. Did you behave like that when you were performing Toby just to make you closer to your fallen son? Shut up. Phoenix put his hands in his head, holding it as if it was paining. You know nothing about that. Oh, I know. Pain's Rinnegan was focused on Phoenix. Your child was supposed to be the ruler of the Uchiha clan, if he was alive by now, yet, none within your clan saw him as a true Uchiha, because his mother was from another clan. Shut up. Phoenix trembled remembering all of that. The Konoha shinobis were stunned, seeing how easily Pain could read his comrade. Obito was. Yes, when he was 13, right? Pain said. The other Akatsuki were staring him. He made me join Akatsuki thanks to his speeches. Kakazu remembered, while watching his leader. That way of speaking. Sakura lowered her face. Is just like Mirai Dono's. Just like the one she used on me when Karika's. Karika. Sasuke whispered in his pain, continued to be unconscious. The Kunoichi startled when she heard him call for the name of her fallen child. Tears fell from Sasuke's eyes. Karika. You know nothing about the Uchiha. Phoenix shouted at his leader. They turned me away from my position as leader. Me, Madara's right heir in lineage. She stared him. I was betrayed by my clan. All because I loved Kageru. Pain finished. Phoenix's eyes opened wide. She was a real lady. Far more than any Uchiha woman. She had never lost her posture. She faced every situation as a true lady trained to do so. True, she could charm the heart of any man. Naruto remembered seeing Kageru in the Hokage's doentry. Even when questioned about her private life, the last of the Nakamura answered with a peaceful smile. Was she, Yondaime's caretaker, Phoenix's lover? The lover of the man who her? How do you? Phoenix had no way to counter that. Kageru came to the hidden moon with yellow flash, remember? Right before you your wife to obtain Mangekyo Sharingan. Pain asked. I knew her. You want to revive her too, don't you? Phoenix closed his eyes, binding his hand around the sword, trembling. He remembered Kageru, how she's saying she loved him. The Nakamura woman was always divided with her love towards the Uchiha and her duty and devotion to the Koryu clan. The Uchiha lost his battle against Yondaime thanks to her. Phoenix B was sealed along with Minato so he couldn't hurt the Hokage anymore. The fourth was so angry with the death of the only woman he knew as a mother that he started an investigation within the Uchiha clan, finding out the plans for a coup d'etat. Kageru. She was just another victim of the Uchiha. That's why I didn't want my daughter to date one of them. Pain stared Mirai, who also looked at him. Because she would ended up being caught in that chain of hatred. The Tsukikage lowered her face, remembering when Itachi told her that he had his clan due to all the odium between them and the village. But rejoice, Phoenix, I need you to free Skull too. So, I'm not going to you after all and you will have your wish fulfill. Phoenix stared him with a distrustful look. Now, go back to your position. You are no longer an Uchiha lord, Because the Uchiha are no longer noble. You're just an underling now. Yes, my magnanimous leader. Phoenix said with his head lowered. Pain smiled. You need me, so obey. Pain ordered. The Uchiha was feeling awful, but it was true, he needed Akatsuki to fulfill his wish. Besides, would Obito and Kajuru accept him back after all he has done? Obito maybe, but Kajuru would never. His family had made her so much harm that she could never forgive him, even with all the love within her heart. The problem of choosing between immortality and your family is yours alone. Yes, Phoenix said in monotone. As yours of resurrecting Kushina. Pain startled. The Uchiha smiled, seeing he has disturbed his leader a bit. Conan's eyes opened wide and she stared her lover. No way. She thought. Is your dream? Then me and Mikhail. You never told us what your dream was. I guess my comrades are also curious. It's true. Hidden said. You never told us. There is no point in telling you that. You are here because you have your own dreams. Mine is useless for you. Pain said. But, Conan was about to speak, but her leader see down her word. Useless. Pain said to her. She lowered her face. Think in your dreams only. And Phoenix, my men obey me. If you try to make them turn against me, then I'm going to knock you down and find someone else to help me. Sure, many people in here would want to have the biggest wish fulfilled. Any wish fulfilled. Any. Everybody in that roof had a wish they desperately wanted to see becoming true. Every soul has a great wish for their lives. Pain could make them come true if they cooperate. Phoenix had no other way but to bow down to him and step back into the statue's finger. Good boy, Toby. Pain grinned. Sorry, Conan, but this was something I had to do. The leader thought, seeing she was not very fine. If Phoenix turned you against me, I wouldn't be able to free Mirai. So, my king, Kazekage-sama, your decisions. But, you're using criminals. My mother's Naruto screamed. No way I'm going to let his wishes come true. That's something you and I have to amend after this, but now we need him. Pain remembered. Naruto was much pissed off. The idea of seeing the dreams of someone so wicked coming true was not letting him do it. But he needed to get out of that situation as soon as possible. Sasuke needed medical treatment and medicine, plus, Akatsuki had already placed traps all over Konoha. He had to collaborate. Uzumaki Naruto. Gaara went near him. Your people are in danger, only you can save them. But Gaara. Naruto stared his friends and then closed his eyes. They are. I also don't want to help them. They have me, remember. Gaara said, catching back Naruto's attention. But, have you thought that you could free Mirai from her suffering? But the price is too high. Naruto insisted. We are the only ones who can do this. Gaara insisted. You're right. Naruto sighed and stared Mirai. Her tearful green eyes showed she was in pain. Mirai, my sister. Naruto. Mirai cried. I know you don't want to do this. She thought. It's against your principles. But, it's the only way of saving your village. Konoha will depend on you again. Jump for the hands of the statue. The Dragon King in the right and the Kazekage in the left, according with your armors. Pain explained. The two jumped. Mirai was very nervous. So I am going to be last sculled. Maybe if you were here, Itachi. She stared her lover's empty spot in the right hand of the statue. I would be more confident. The leaves were staring the statue. If this doesn't work, Naruto will be in great trouble. Shikamaru said. It will work. Kaoru assured. Naruni will do it. He was staring the statue. He was born to do this. She was also staring the statue. Any wish, she whispered and lowered her face. My sins could be forgiven, and I would stand in heaven, next to the heroes who lived in my time. Naruto-kun. Hinata bound her hands. I have faith in you. The Akatsuki started making hand seals and the statue opened its mouth. Oh, Yggdrasil, tree from which life sprouts, hear my plea. Pain screamed. We are giving you back your angel. Mirai's mouth started take the chakra of 8 great dukes from hell to make your angel's body back. Naruto and Gaara rose their arms. May Skuld walk the heavens again and may our wishes be fulfilled by Amaterasu and Tsukiyomi. May the hand of God rise over us and may his blessings give back the future to the world. May Ragnarok leave the earth and may Lord have mercy on our souls. The chakra from the biju started to come out and entering Mirai's body, who screamed out loud, crying in pain. Akatsuki were holding the demon's chakra, while Naruto and Gaara's arms trembled with the weight of Skull's chakra. While entering Mirai's body, the evil chakra turned into light and glowed Konoha as if it was day. The clouds and snow vanished from the sky, taken away by that peaceful and filled with grace chakra. Northern lights appeared over the starish sky and started releasing small balls of lights that resembled fireflies. It was so beautiful that none could find words to describe it. Skull's sweet scent started filling the area. How pretty, Maya said, amazed. The great Maya witnesses another astronomical proportions event. The amount of chakra involved is out of this world. Neji said, staring Mirai with his Byakugan. Hinata was seeing it too. They are changing the nature of the chakra and recombine it to win physical form. That's Akatsuki to you, Shikamaru said and stared Mirai. It's too much chakra for a human body. Hinata noticed. Mirai-sama will perish. The Tsukikage's body started to tear and be, which was noticed by pain. Mirai. His heart pained. Hold on. Please, my daughter. Naruto and Gaara's arms were also B. The armor was weighing so much that both of them fell on their knees, B from their mouths. The chains trembled a lot, making a deafening noise. Mom. Naruto whispered. I held the keys to free you, not. The light coming from Mirai's body increased its brightness at every second. Mommy. She and Kaoru called at the same time. Am I going to like this? Mirai asked to herself in the middle of her screams. I promised Itachi I would offer the best of me. The much I have to offer that made him for me. Chi. Kaoru. I want to see both of them growing up. I really want to be there, in the future. Mirai's fingers and toes started glowing and disappearing, which was noticed by the Akatsuki members and her father, whose eyes opened wide. I want to see Naruto becoming Hokage and live with him the siblings' life I always wanted. I want, so many things. Her body started disappearing. Mirai. Pain called. She stared him and smiled. No. My Mirai. Daddy. Mirai stopped screaming and the roots surrounding her sprout flowers and bloomed. I loved the life I had when I was young. Just me and Daddy. Pain jumped from the statue finger and used Tsubasa no Jutsu to fly near Mirai, but there was an invisible that was avoid him from touching her. Mirai heard his voice far away. I wish I could have it again. ... I wish I could meet Itachi again and be happy with him. Tears fell from her eyes, remembering Itachi's smile. Itachi, you were my one and only. Ever since you entered my life, my eyes gained a bright I never thought I would have. When I met you in the Hidden Moon's beach, under that full moon night, that's a moment I will never forget. When you told me you loved me. When we gave ourselves to each other. Itachi, if I knew that night was going to be the last time we would K each other, I would have K you longer. If I knew, I would love you even more. I wanted to have a family with you. I want. Mirai. Don't answer me. Pain knocked incessantly in the wall, calling for her. Mirai, please. I love you. Don't. The Tsukikage's tears fell upon the yellow flowers from the tree and make the wood from the statue turn green and it started growing, making a huge tree above the Hokage's monument. Daddy. Mirai thought, seeing him crying. You have another child and woman who need you, but. She closed her eyes. You are the only father I want to have. Mirai. I did this for you. Please. Pain cried. Jiraiya knew Pain only started searching for the Biju when Mirai became the new Skuld. He knew how much he loved her. The pain the Akatsuki leader was feeling was unbearable. Mirai. I wish. ... I could go back and start all over again. Mirai. Pain screamed. With Daddy at my side. Itachi. Chi. And happiness. Mirai. Her body vanished completely. Pain's hands were trembling, seeing the flocks of light that were Mirai's body. I. Mirai-chan. White Zetsu said. She-s. Black Zetsu concluded. Conan and the rest of Akatsuki saw Pain immobile in the air, with his eyes wide open and tears falling. He lowered his head to hide his cries. And now? Kisame asked. Naruto and Gaara continued holding the chains that ended up in the big amount of light above them. Tears were falling from Naruto's eyes too. Mirai, why now? He said, while B started coming out from his armor. Within him, Kyubi was also in pain. The demon said. My chakra is also being pulled. I'm lucky to be inside of Naruto. Otherwise I would end up like the others. Naruto could only imagine all the good moments he had passed with Mirai. She taught him so much and loved him as a true mother. If it wasn't for Mirai, Naruto would never be with Hinata. If it wasn't for Mirai, he would never get strong enough to bring Sasuke back. If it wasn't for Mirai, Kaoru wouldn't be here. Mirai, Mom, he cried. I love you, Mom. It was such a hard loss that Naruto's heart appeared to have stopped. He loved her so much. He had longed for so long for someone to love him as a child, for bonds, that now one of those bonds had just break. Naruto felt he was about to break too. Why? Mirai has disappeared, Neji informed. All looked shocked at him. Her chakra is no longer there, plus, Naruto and Kazekige's chakra is also being sucked. Hinata startled. What? Kankuro asked, nervous. Gaara, have faith, Kaoru said, with tears in the corner of his eyes. Naru-ni will do it. He will survive. Mirai, Pain whispered in agony. I didn't want you to not without being happy first. The eyes from the statue changed their position and the trunk of the tree changed to the shape of a woman with the eyes as if they were the jewels of a necklace. The sweet scent continued filling the noses of the village and the light made them relax. There was a huge shock wave and Pain was thrown away, landing near Jiraiya. Pein. Conan screamed, seeing him hitting the ground. Akatsuki, the legendary ninja, went for him. Pain got up and his forehead protector fell. The former Tsukikage's hand had runes that were glowing. I have to finish this, for Mirai's sake, for my sake. He said and started walking, but stopped when he saw his comrades floating. What the hell? Deidara said, floating in the air as if he was inside of water. Their rings started to shine and their bee started to lose opacity. Hidden screamed and stared the leader. You doomed us, you little bee. No. Pain had no idea why that was happening. His comrades were disappearing just like Mirai, joining the big amount of light slowly. You weren't supposed to The runes in his hand were shining even more, which was noticed by Kaoru, who read his name on them. So, that jutsu. It must have been Mirai, he thought. I did not want anything of this. I believed in you, leader. Kisame said. I didn't know. Pain said and flew near them, but against the invisible wall again. I had no idea you were going to You promised me. Kakazu complained in anger. You were supposed to live. Pain knocked in the wall again. First his daughter, now his fellow comrades who worked with him for his dream. I'm too young to Leader. Deidara screamed. To fulfill your wishes with me. Pain called for them, trying to free them, but no technique worked. What an awful way of yeah. Zetsu said. I cared about you. Pain confessed. What would happen next? Jashin will smite you for this, sea sucker. Hidden complained. I should have cursed you. I made you be respected, just like me. Pain whispered, crying and his hand in the wall. This may be some kind of curse, there was no way the gods would fulfill our wishes. Phoenix said. Unlike you, Pain, we are Pain stared them. No. You are my friends. You helped me. I wouldn't have reached this far without you. Pain screamed. Friends. We were just pawns. Conan cried. Guess it serves us good, for trying to be gods like you, my leader. No. You were not pawns. You were towers, knights, bishops, queens. You are my family. All of you. Pain screamed so loud that it hurt his tea. Friends. I don't want you to Toby. Hidden. Kakuzu. Kisame. Zetsu. Deidara. Conan. Please. Live. At least, look over Mikhail. Conan cried. I wonder, if you ever loved us. Conan. She vanished before hearing the answer. All of them vanished. I don't wanna be alone. Pain cried. I don't wanna lose everything again. Not again. Look over Mirai, Dario. Take care of our daughter. I failed you, Frig. I failed everybody. What happened? Kiba asked, much surprised. Did he kill his own comrades? No. She answered. Kyubi was missing. Kaoru explained. Skull needs a big amount of chakra and once she didn't have Kyubi, it took out the Akatsuki as Then, why did the leader survived? Sai asked. Did you see his hand glowing? Kaoru asked. They looked to Pain and could see a blue light shining. His life was attached to mine. He could only S. Once I'm immortal. Akatsuki is immortal too. Jiraiya finished. The invisible wall disappeared and Pain lowered his arms. He lost everything. Everything, again. His friends and the woman he loved. Again. And now, even his daughter. The daughter that grown up with him. He left himself land in the Hokage's building roof and fell on his knees. No wish worth this, he whispered. No wish. Pain was feeling so desolated that not even the light and sweet scent could calm his heart. He just wanted to fall asleep and wake up no more. The hands of the tree moved and caught the big light. The chains broke up completely and Naruto and Gaara were projected, hitting the ground violently with their arms taken away. Naruto-kun. Hinata ran at him. Gaara. Kankuro went near his brother. Both had burns all over their V and the arms where they had the armor was sucked dried and lifeless. Please, say something. Naruto-kun. Hinata cried, seeing he was not answering. Sakura went near them and made a checkup. Their arms are useless now. She said, sad. The burns are too deep and from high degree and they are both near death. We need to take them to the hospital immediately. Wait, Kaoru asked. They all thought he was nuts. Please, he stared at Akatsuki. What have I done? Pain cried, punching the ground again and again until he made his hand be. Why? I wasn't told to be a leader or a lover or a father. Why are you crying? Pain felt someone hugging him. It was warm and sweet. You will fulfill your wish. I thought I could do it without Kyuubi. Even if I had it, it was just half of him, they would have all less the same. This plan was made to fail back in the day I made it. Pain cried. Please, smile, Doryokugan. Soft hands pulled his face up and his Rinnegan was now staring two blue five-pupil eyes in the face of a pink-skinned angel. Heaven has opened its doors to you. Scold, he said and leaned his head in her sea. Why? She caressed his hair and then stared Kaoru. Kurogen. Scold smiled. The gods have unique ways of doing things. 600 years ago, you took care of me as if I was your daughter. Back in those days, I wanted to love you back so desperately and now. Kaoru smiled. They made me have the biggest kind of love towards you, mother love that is. Now you can stretch your wings and fly, as you always wished. Kaoru said, crying of happiness. Skuld opened her 6 feathered wings just like the ones she had in heaven, when she was Seraph. Her body was shining a lot and releasing a peaceful aura. I'm happy, mommy. Skuld smiled and then stared Pain again. I would never let a medium of mine Skuld said. Pain's eyes opened wide. Mirai wished to be with you, back in the time when she was happy. Pain knew she could only be talking about the time they were living together in the hidden moon, when he was 22 as she 6 years old. Of course, time cannot go back. In the moment I entered Mirai's body, my soul fused with hers. Now that I left her, all the memories she had from that time, till today disappeared. Everything. She becoming a ninja, meeting Itachi, Akatsuki, Naruto, Chi, Kakashi, Kaoru, all vanished from her mind. Time cannot go back, but people can. You will have to find a big excuse to tell Mirai why her friends are now big and she is small. Small. Pain found it strange and Skuld raised her arms, catching a 6-year girl with red hair that was peacefully falling from the sky. The former Tsukikage's eyes opened wide once more. Mirai. His arms were trembling when the angel gave her back to him. You're alive. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. He started crying again, hugging her. She is sleeping now. Her eyes and nails are damaged because I'm no longer inside of her, so she is going to take a month to start seeing again. Skuld explained. Pain was smiling for having his daughter back. At least, she was back with him, as she always was. Skuld got up and went near the leaf group. She raised her arms and Naruto and Gaara started floating. Their arms healed, such as their wounds. Amazing. Sakura exclaimed, saying the same thing the rest of the group was thinking. Gamma. Omega. You were the only friends I had when I was in hell. Even being you the ones that sealed me, you repented right away. You aided me and made me smile in a world of darkness. Skuld said, smiling. That's why I asked Amaterasu to renewal your souls and turned you into new persons. Because you cared about me. Naruto and Gaara opened their eyes slowly. You are no longer 2 demons. You are angels, heroes, new souls free from any sin. Skuld. Naruto smiled, happy for seeing her again. Hinata startled. For the first time, She was able to see the woman that took out Naruto's innocence. Her beauty was big enough to make the Hyuga get intimidated. You're free. The Dragon King felt relief. Finally Skuld was going back home. Yes. She smiled back to him and then turned back, seeing two lights descending from the heavens. I was already missing Earth. Amaterasu said. The goddess was shining as Skuld and pretty enough to deserve her rank. So, she turned to Pain. As promised, I came down from the heavens to fulfill your biggest wish, Minamoto Doryokugan. Pain realized who she was, but then he noticed someone in front of him, who was staring at Mirai. Amaterasu stared him. Tsukiyomi. Tsukiyomi. Pain noticed he was just like Itachi. The god kneeled near him and caressed Mirai's face. See, now you can be under a night without a moon. Tsukiyomi said and bit his lip. You have forgotten me. Pain lowered his look. Say, what's your wish? Pain lowered his head and moved his lips, speaking in Norse. Tsukiyomi smiled. Consider it done. Pain smiled, closing his eyes. But, why are you fulfilling his wish? Naruto asked. Isn't him a bad guy? Naruto, if I were you I would mind my words. They are gods. Shikamaru noticed. Naruto blushed, embarrassed, but Tsukiyomi smiled at him. Kurogen, you look cuter than ever. Amaterasu caressed Kaoru's head, who laughed quietly, while Tsukiyomi walked near Sasuke and Chi. Those arms must hurt a lot. The god put his hand in Sasuke's forehead and healed all his wounds. The Uchiha moved his head and opened his eyes, staring the divine being. Itachi. Sasuke crawled back, scared. Tsukiyomi smiled. Sort of, the god said. The rune scars haven't disappeared, but they will no longer hurt you. What? Sasuke was kind of confused. He put his hand in the sea and noticed the awful sea he had has disappeared. So, Chigabu, do you hate me? Tsukiyomi asked to his daughter. Now that you have woke up. Chi smiled. I don't know. I'm confused. She answered and then stared Mirai. I said I didn't care, but now that I know. Sasuke was trying to find out what was going on. Every time you need me, just look at the moon and call for me. Tsukiyomi said and then turned to Sasuke. You too, brother. Well, now it's your turn. Amaterasu said to Gaara, who was caught by surprise. Me? Gaara asked. Yes, haven't you free Skuld too? You also have the right to make a wish. Amaterasu explained. Gaara looked at his brother. Anything? Gaara asked. Amaterasu's answer was positive. The Kazekage put his hand in his forehead tattoo. Then, I wanna find true love. True love? Amaterasu asked. Yes, I'm already loved by my people, but I think that love is not just that. I wanna find the love everybody talks about, but that I cannot sense. So, I could have love not only in my forehead, but also in heart. Gaara wished, a little blushed. His brother was a little surprised, but he knew the Kazekage has longed for love all of his life, asking for it was not awkward. Well then, I will make it come true. Kazekage. Amaterasu smiled. And yours? Tsukiyomi asked to Naruto, who stared him. I guess you also have many things you could ask. Like your life. Maybe your parents, or the Hokage's place. Naruto lowered his face. What could he ask? If he lived longer, he could spend more time with Hinata and Kaoru and embrace the future with them. If he asked for his parents, he could finally find out that kind of love. He could become Hokage. Anything. The gods were offering him anything. Hinata was staring him, praying he could ask for the years he had lost, so they could have the life of the dreams. Nay, now that Skuld is no longer within Mirai's body. Naruto started. Yes, the 6 months you had left turned into 7.5 years. So you still have 7 years of life. Tsukiyomi said. Then, I want to, Naruto was about to ask, but noticed Kaoru nodding with his head. The little boy stared the Hokage's monument. Naruto followed his eyes and then remembered something. God Tsukiyomi, is Yondaime in heaven? Ah, Kiba found that question strange. Minato was a hero, of course he was in heaven. No, Tsukiyomi surprised everyone. He is in the death god's belly, along with the first, the second and the third Hokage. No way. They were heroes, Maya said, but they choose that path in order to save their village. There was nothing we could do. Tsukiyomi explained. Hashirama too. She whispered, a little bit sad. No way. Then, I wish they could go to heaven, as true heroes. Naruto begged. Kaoru smiled. Tsukiyomi stared Amaterasu and the two started making hand seals. We promised we would fulfill any wish, Tsukiyomi said, and 4 lights appeared behind him. Their souls have suffered a lot during the time they were sealed, but as soon as they enter heaven, they will recover. The first 2 souls took the shape of Shodai and Nadaime. Hashirama, Tobarama, she called. They opened their eyes and stared her, very weakened. Section U, who? Section Shodai asked. She lowered her face a little sad. Their memories are also a little affected. Try something they could remember. Tsukiyomi said. It's me. Remember, Uzumaki used to call you lumberjack and fisherman to your brother. I was fanboy, she explained. Shodai and Nadaime's eyes opened wide. Section U. I remember you haven't entered the Hall of Heroes and that gods would made you reborn so you could pay for your sins. Section Shodai said and then smiled. Section Hiei. It serves you good. You used to be such a plier and use women as handkerchiefs and now you are one. Section Chi blushed. Section You will like men. Section Nadaime mocked, letting Chi with a shocked face. No, she screamed in agony, while the Hokage brothers laughed. Sasuke stared Chi and felt a little worried about her. Don't worry, Tsukiyomi said to him. Chi will be fine. Sasuke was finding hard believing in someone with Itachi's face. Section Naruto. Section Sandaime's soul had awakened and stared the boy that used to trouble his afternoons with some stupidities. The Dragon King smiled tenderly, seeing the man that always believed in him and the first to see him as a hero. Section You all have grown up so much. I'm happy to know that my S was worthy after all. Section The old Hokage stared the now grown-up faces of the young children he used to see in the last months of his life. Section I'm happy you have all made up till here and that all of you carried the will of fire within your hearts. Section Sandaime's eyes stopped in Sasuke. Section I always wanted to say to you how sorry I am for not being able to stop the S of your clan. Section Sasuke immediately stared Tsukiyomi, followed by Sandaime. Section Guess only a god could do that. Section Itachi destroyed my family. He ruined my life. Sasuke shouted. How can? Why is he a god? He was already a god before being your brother. Amaterasu explained. The Uchiha had become such a menace that the gods had no other choice but to erase them. Sasuke's eyes opened wide. They have supported Madara in Uzumaki's and even planned a coup d'etat against Konoha, not just once but twice. Plus, an Uchiha was behind Kyuubi's attack 20 years ago. We are gods, it's our responsibility to look over the welfare of humans and the Uchihas were willing to much. In those cases, we had to do something. That was when Tsukiyomi entered. He took an avatar and lived as Itachi. Plus, the Uchiha was also not only wished by the gods, but also by the Konoha counselors and by the Anbu leader. Your brother was just taking orders. Amaterasu described. Sasuke's eyes were wide opened, shocked with what he has just heard. The Uchiha were betraying each other and becoming rotten. They needed to be renewal. As forward, they were She explained. Sasuke stared her. It's up to you to build a new Uchiha clan. One that will care more about its village and its people. One that will not search for power and immortality above love and peace. Tsukiyomi said. That's easier said than done. And if you were trying to purify us, why didn't you explain that to Dad? Sasuke complained, not believing in Tsukiyomi, who sighed. None of them listened to me and used me as a pawn of the Uchiha and not as a weapon of the village. Tsukiyomi knit his brows. They were turning themselves into something we simply couldn't allow and that was poisonous to the others near them. Sasuke lowered his head, angry, but she held his hand. We will do it. Together, she said, making her father smile. Sakura stared them and then lowered her face. You have a very long way to go. Uchiha suck, all of them. She thought. Section I'm sure, you will be a good Hokage, Naruto. Section Sandaime said and then looked at his side, where Yondaime was opening his eyes. Naruto's heart was beating pretty fast and he could sense his body trembling too. He was going to have a chance to speak with his father, after all this time. Naruto smiled, waiting for Minato to speak with him. Section Wei. Shikaku. You're an Anbu again. Section Minato said to Shikamaru, who found it strange. Section Y. Section Naruto's face turned blue and he became a little annoyed. You must be confusing me with my father, I'm Shikamaru. He answered. Minato's mouth opened wide with the shock. Section When did you grown up so much? How old are you? Section Minato asked. 20. Shikamaru answered. How troublesome could it be to talk with a ghost? Section Then he is not Chum's husband. Section Minato pointed at Kiba and then stared Sasuke. Section You must be Mikoto's child. You are her spitted face. Section Sasuke smiled. Section And you are the daughter from that meddling reporter. Section Yeah, I'm Maya. It's a pleasure to meet you. Yondaime. Section Some of you I recognize. Neji, isn't it? Hisashi's boy. Section Minato asked and Neji answered with a smile. Section You're from the Haruno clan, and you. Section Yondaime pointed at Naruto and started him from a long time. The Dragon King couldn't avoid crying while carrying a fond smile. Yondaime smiled too. Section You're just like your father. Naruto. Section Father. Naruto was crying so much he couldn't even speak. Soon Yondaime was crying too and the two hugged each other. I always wanted to meet you. So much, so much. Naruto rubbed his face in Minato's happy for being in his arms, the arms he longed ever since he was a little baby. Sandaime and Jiraiya were happy to see them together again. Section Naruto. I'm so happy to know you're fine. I was so scared for leaving you alone, but you had Sandaime and Jiraiya sensei. Section Minato cried. Section My son. Sorry for not being there when you needed me the most. I'm so sorry. Section It's okay. I have grown up well. Naruto said, while Minato was caressing his face. Section You were so small when I last held you in my arms, now look at you. You are as big as me. Section Yondaime was so proud he couldn't even find words to say to Naruto. You haven't changed a thing, Yellow Flash. Pain said. Minato recognized his voice and stared him. Section You have even more L than you used to have, Akatsuki. Section Minato mocked. Section Mirai hasn't changed a thing either. Section Pain lowered his face and smiled. Minato stared Naruto again. Section Thank you for freeing me, son. Section Naruto's heart jumped when he heard the word, son. Section You could have asked everything, but you have chosen to free us. You have a great heart, I'm proud of you. Was Jiraiya sensei the one who taught you that? Section Minato asked, staring his sensei. Section You look so old, sensei. Ha. Section At least I'm not S. Jiraiya mocked. Ha. Section You too. Are you scared of me? Section Minato asked to Kaoru, who was hidden behind Naruto's legs. Section Kyuubi told me I was the one who KU. Sorry, guess I made you much harm, for you to continue fearing me. Section Naruto stared Kaoru, who stared Yondaime. That was long ago. I want to know. Did I suck as a father? Kaoru asked. Naruto startled. That was the last thing he had said to Kurogen, in the night he gave himself to scold. The Dragon King lowered his face and sighed. Hinata noticed and she also knew what Naruto had said to his ancestor. She held his hand to comfort him. If Kaoru remembered that, then, he could be mad at him. Minato smiled and put his hand in Kaoru's head. Section Few are the memories I have from my life as Goldrake, but, from what I could remember. You were a heck of a dad. Section Minato said, making Kaoru smile. Section Living with you was a constant adventure. It's true you became very depressed with Mom's death, but, when you took Skuld, you did your best for all of us. You have amended yourself. That made me and brother happy. Section Kaoru blushed a little. Well, we have to take you back to heaven. Amaterasu informed. Skuld too. The angel smiled and went near Naruto, but when she was about to hold his hands, she stopped and just stared him, which was noticed by the Dragon King. I'm sure you will live happily ever after, she said. Naruto was expecting her to hug him, but she did not, making a sad smile. The angel turned to Hinata. Thank you for forgiving him. Every time a person forgives, she is one step closer to God. The Hyuga leader blushed. Naruto, I will always remember you. The one who loved me as a woman for the first time. Hinata lowered her face, which was noticed by Skuld. I'm sorry. Don't apologize, Naruto said tenderly, making the angel stare him. Now you don't have to apologize anymore. You're free. She smiled. You can fly like a shooting star. Yeah, Skuld said and then stared Kaoru. I'm your mother. Remember that. I want to be there when you need me. So, every time you need a mother to comfort you or help you doing your homework, just call me. I will be there. Yes, Mommy, Kaoru said, making her happy. Bye, she said, and the spirits and gods left Konoha under the starry night. You did well, Naruto, Jiraiya said, putting his hand in the boy's shoulder, who smiled. Kaoru Dono. Pain went near the little boy. Are you willing to return to the hidden moon and reassume your duties as king? Naruto's heart appeared to have stopped. If Kaoru accepted, he was going to be far from him forever. Of course the mighty Kurogen would want to return to the village he made with his hands. You will be welcome to come back. Kaoru thought a little. As you may know, I became king when I was 3 years old. I didn't had any father or mother to look over me while I was growing. I would like to live as a little kid without that kind of responsibility in my hands. Would you grant me that wish? Kaoru asked. Pain smiled. Your wishes are commands, my king, Pain said, while making a bow. In that moment, many screams were heard all over Konoha, but they were not agony screams, they appeared to be calling for someone. The group went near the edge of the building and saw all the inhabitants of Konoha in the streets, all very happy and shouting. Naruto Hokage! Naruto Hokage! Naruto Hokage! They screamed. Naruto blushed a lot and stared them, while the villagers continued, Naruto Hokage! Naruto Hokage! Naruto Hokage! Why are they? Kiba asked, staring the crowd. It's our broadcast, Kahoko explained. It was airing all over Konoha. Once the people couldn't get out of their houses because of the wolves, they watched the show to see what was happening. All stared her. The miracles of hacking. My show was a success. Maya quickly went near Naruto, putting the microphone near his mouth. What are you going to do now that the entire village shouts for you? Naruto had no idea what to say. All that people calling for him, acknowledging him. He simply smiled and waved back at them. You're the man of youth, Naruto-kun. Lee shouted from the streets. Naruto laughed, while tears fell from his eyes. Go Naruto! Ino screamed while jumping in the middle of the crowd. I'm here Sai. Her fiancé waved at her. You did well, Shino said. Although, I was let down here. He is going to annoy me for ages because of that. Kiba complained. Guess you have finally achieved your dream. Sasuke said. Naruto stared him. It doesn't matter who was chosen to become Hokage. With Konoha shouting your name like this, they will not acknowledge another Hokage but you. Sasuke rose his hand to compliment him. Congratulations, Hokage-sama. Sasuke. Naruto smiled and shook hands with his friend. I will never allow that. Danzo entered the Hokage's building roof. There is no way I'm going to let a Jinchuriki become Hokage. What? Sakura was surprised, like the others, with Danzo's appearance and statement. Naruto does not have what it takes to be Hokage. Danzo said. What are you talking about? Are you nuts? Maya interrupted. Naruto had just confessed he had given more than half of his life and his child to save all of us, to save Konoha. How can you say something like that? Many ninjas had already s their lives for this village, we couldn't made all of them become Hokage. Danzo spitted. Oh yeah, and how many of them have sent out the Hokage to heaven? Sasuke said, putting himself in front of Naruto. Konoha wants Naruto and it's Naruto who they are going to have. Sasuke. Naruto whispered. I will not listen to the words of an Uchiha rat like you. You will be when the new Hokage gets nominated. Danzo menaced. Sorry, but I will only follow Naruto. Shikamaru said, also putting himself in front of his friend. Me too. Hinata also stepped forward. The Hyuga recognize Uzumaki Naruto as the new Hokage. We all do. Gaara confirmed. Are you mad? He cannot be Hokage. Danzo screamed, knocking with his cane in the ground. You cannot be Hokage too. Chi said. A Hokage is someone who is ready to offer his life for his people. Where were you while we were fighting? Danzo startled. Hiding. Sorry, I wouldn't follow someone like you who rather hiding instead of helping his people. Naruto will not. Okay, Naruto said. All looked surprised. You say I cannot be Hokage. Then, the Dragon King stared Pain. You said that if I entered the Hidden Moon, I would be received as the new Tsukikage, right? Yes. As Kurogen's direct heir and Dragon King, you would automatically become the new leader. Pain explained. Then, Naruto turned back to Danzo. I will go to the Hidden Moon and take everybody who wants to follow me. All looked surprised. As soon as I become Tsukikage, I will order them to attack Konoha and conquer it. Gaara said he is at my side, so, the sand is also going to support us. As you can hear, Konoha will follow me and I will conquer an empty city and become Hokage. Danzu knit his brows, very angry. So, we can do this peacefully, or choose war. The only thing I will not allow is to see my people being ruled by someone they wish not to. I will not agree. You don't have the guts to attack your own village. Danzu complained. I'm sick of hearing you. Sasuke said and teleported behind Danzu, who was caught by surprise. Sandaime told me you ordered my clan's E. Danzu's eyes opened wide. So, I will order yours. Wait. Danzu started, but Sasuke held him with his sword. The old Anbu leader fell in the ground. Done. Sasuke said. Naruto stared him. What are you waiting for? Hinata grabbed Naruto's hand and took him to the balcony, where Konoha was waiting for him. Konoha, I, Hyuga Hinata, the leader of the Hyuga clan, presents you your Nanadyme Hokage, Uzumaki Naruto. Hinata screamed without any embarrassment or fear, holding Naruto's hand in the air. He was caught by surprise and then stared Konoha, who clapped and shouted his name once more. Naruto smiled back and waved his hand once more. Kahoko, Konoha's sound broadcast system. Maya remembered. I'm already in. Use your microphone. Kahoko said. The reporter went near Naruto and gave him the micro. Konoha. Naruto started, with tears, all stopped to hear him speak. Thank you for choosing me as your new Hokage. I promise we will build a new Konoha. A strong Konoha that will no longer judge people by its origin or by its family. Naruto's friends smiled. There will be a place for everyone in the new Konoha. No child will cry for loneliness. No life will be taken lightly ever again. Because Konoha is not the village where we live, but it is all of us. We are Konoha. Naruto screamed, raising his arm in the air followed by a scream from the villagers. Kaoru, Jiraiya and Pain were very proud of him. We are the ones who matter, as forward, we will make a village for the people. A new Konoha. All screamed again. A place where sins will be forgiven and where everybody will get a second chance. A place. Naruto stared his fellow villagers and smiled tenderly. We can be proud of. We will make Konoha the village our ancestors wanted to be. The Wall of Fire's Konoha. All screamed Naruto's name again and again, while he continued waving at them. Could Hinata really announce Naruto as Hokage? Shikamaru asked. As a leader from a noble clan, she can announce the new Hokage if the former one did not. She explained. Of course the way he was chosen was different than the one written, but it was the fairest one. Naruto is the new Hokage. Sasuke said. As he always wished to be. Sakura smiled, very happy for seeing her best friend's wish fulfilled. Naruto will now live his dream. Congratulations. Naruto went near his friends, not hiding his tears of happiness. We will rebuild the village again. Naruto explained and stared the big tree above the Hokage's monument that Akatsuki left behind. We will make a strong log to hold all the leaves. Well then, where are you going to live until then? Kiba asked. Your house was destroyed and you cannot come and go from your castle every day, we will need you here. Naruto can only enter the Hokage's house after the coronation ceremony. Jiraiya said. He can stay with the Hyuga during the reconstruction of the village. Hinata offered her house. After that he will stay in the Hokage's building, as a real Hokage. Naruto smiled at her, holding his girlfriend's hand tenderly. Hinata's heart never beat so fast as in that moment. The love of her life has realized his dream. The dream many said it was impossible. Ever since she knew Naruto she was certain he would become Hokage one day. That day finally has arrived. It was today. Everybody in Konoha wanted Naruto. And Daddy and I? She asked. Naruto stared them. Will we be allowed to enter Konoha again? Naruto smiled and then looked at Jiraiya. The Hokage can forgive any rogue ninja and let him enter the village again, right? Naruto asked. Yes, that's one of the powers of the Hokage. Jiraiya answered. Naruto smiled and put his hand in Sasuke's shoulder. Then I say that all of your sins are now forgiven and you can come back to Konoha and help us rebuild it. Naruto said, making Sasuke smile. Sakura didn't appear to like the idea very much. With Naruto saying something like that, it sounded as if he was forgiving Sasuke from all the evil he did to Kurika, plus, now she would have to see him in Konoha, haunting her. Thank you, my Hokage. Sasuke said, making a bow, which made Naruto think he was the best. You can stay in my house, Sasuke, until you get one. Shikamaru offered. Sasuke said thanks. Well then, let's rebuild Konoha. Naruto said in a decisive way. I think it is too late, maybe we should go to sleep first and build tomorrow. Sai advised. Naruto sighed and stared him, angrily. Sai, you should read the atmosphere first, before saying something so stupid. Naruto complained. Sai smiled. ... In a peaceful garden under a blue sky, the Akatsuki members all fell down, ones above the others. Section Why me? Section Deidara complained, once he was the one in the bottom. Section I always was the lightest of us all, why should I be the one in the bottom? Section Where are we? Section Phoenix looked everywhere, noticing they appeared to be near a Japanese huge temple with cherry trees surrounding it. Section Ha you were dressed as AF gay. Section Hidden mocked, seeing his friends were carrying white robes with a golden belt and a halo in their heads. Section You're talking nonsense as always, you are carrying the same clothes we are. Section Kakazu said. Hidden stared himself. Section Yeah, well, but, deep S. Section Hidden said, making Kakazu sigh. Section I wonder if we are really S. Section Kisum said. Section Yes. We got separated. Section The White Zetsu said and his comrades noticed there were two Zetsu. Section Then. Jashin has come for me. F yeah, B. I was saved. Section He screamed, but then realized something. Section If I was saved, why are you here too? Section. You were all saved. Tsukiyomi appeared. They recognized him. Section Itachi-san. You're here too. Section Kisum said, happy to see his fallen comrade. Section Good, that means we are really S. Section Kakazu realized, annoyed. Section About 100 years of my life spending in trying not to S, and in the end. Section. Well, if you S before you would go to hell, but now you are in heaven. Tsukiyomi explained. Section He Heaven. Section All exclaimed. Of course. All of you helped out freeing Skuld. The heavens are thankful for that. Your energy was drained because it took more chakra than the one the statue had stored to free her. Leader's plan was perfect, but he didn't know that was going to happen. Forgive him, Tsukiyomi asked. His comrades stared each other. Section If we are in heaven, it means. Section Deidara started. The gods had recognized your efforts and you were granted with the rank of heroic souls. Now your names lay near heroes like Kurogen, George and many others. Tsukiyomi said. You will be leaving in my house in heaven, so feel free. Section Hell yeah. Section Hidden screamed, but all stared him. Section Ups. I wanted to say heaven yeah. Section. Were all of our sins really forgiven? Section Phoenix asked. You gave your life for someone else. That's the biggest act of love. Tsukiyomi explained. Section But we did it without wanting. Section Black Zetsu said. Number. The moment you chose to follow pain, you already had accepted that fate. All released and, oh. So, all that it left for you is to enjoy eternity. Section and Mirai-chan. Section Kisum asked. Tsukiyomi sadly smiled. Worry not, she is fine. She is, back in the place where she always wanted to be. Tsukiyomi explained and then disappeared. Section Eternity, F. Let's celebrate. Section Hidden screamed. ... After the night when Skuld was free, Pain went back to the Hidden Moon with Mirai, reaching his village after 3 long days of voyage. He laid Mirai down in her bed, back in the Tsukikage's palace and then sat in the living room. Kyo and Bio sat near him. So, have you free Skuld? The twins asked at the same time. Yes, that's why Mirai is young again. He said, thinking how he was going to explain everything to his now little daughter. Then, who is going to be our Tsukikage now? Kyo asked. Yes, we need one. Bio completed the sentence of his brother. I will reassume the place. I have only abandoned it to free Skuld, guess I must come back, even for Mirai's sake. Pain said. I'm going to Kimi's house. I need to get Mikhail. Look over Mirai, okay? Yes, uncle. The twins said. Pain walked the streets of his village under the night. Only the stars and a small quarter of the moon illuminated his path. He was already carrying the Hidden Moon clothes with furry neckbands and warm coats. The cold of his island was kind of nostalgic. Pain stared the big sea at his left. Guess I'm back into this peaceful island. Pain lowered his face. I need to prepare the way for Kaoru. I'm sure he wants to come back. He continued walking. Mirai, you have become Tsukikage. You were the only woman who could ever claim that. Even my sister Suren, with all of her power and charisma, couldn't do it. I remember, you never wanted to be a ninja when you were little. You wanted to be like me, but not to harm people. Pain smiled. You were as fond as your mother. He reached Kimmy's house. At first, I wanted to forget everything, to go back to the time I was happy, with my sister, Fuller, Frigg and Mirai at my side. But now I realized, I have grown up. I'm no longer a young man. I needed to look to the future instead of the past. Pain knocked in the door. My future is here, where it always was, to prepare everything for the Norse ninja, for the dragon lineage, for Kurogen. Akatsuki-senpai. Usagi opened the door and drove him in. We got words for the harbor that you have came back. So, how was it? Did you free Skuld? Kimmy asked. His body still had bandages from the wounds the Anbu made him. Yes, Pain answered. And Mirai? Usagi asked. She is fine. A little younger, but fine. Pain answered, seeing his cousins making a weird face. Daddy. Mikhail entered and ran at his father's arms. Oh, my baby. Did you miss Daddy? How was your stay in Kimmy's house? Pain asked, caressing Mikhail's hair. Well, he told me he had lots of fun, playing with Kaoru-chan. Conan entered, with tears in the corner of her eyes. Pain smiled back at her and didn't seem surprised for seeing her there. You asked for me. Pain. I realized I couldn't wish the past. Pain said and walked near Conan, holding her hand. I want the future, you are my future, Conan. You, Mirai and Mikhail. We will be there, in the future. Conan smiled while a tear finally fell from her eyes. So, are you willing to be the Hidden Moon's queen? Yes. She hugged him tightly. Thank you. And are you, as it stands? Pain stared Conan in the eyes. Me too. I love you. The two blushed even more and kissed each other. Kimmy and Usagi smiled too, hugging each other. ... Minato ran over green heavenly fields under a starish blue sky where white birds flew. His tears of happiness were left behind as a mark of his passing. He stopped when he saw a woman picking flowers and smiled. Section Kushina. Section, he said. The woman's blue eyes opened wide and she turned back, seeing the man she didn't had the chance to say goodbye 20 years ago. Her lips began to tremble and she began to cry. Section, sorry, for arriving so late. Section. Section, no. Section, Kushina said, getting up. Section, you were just in time. Just in time for eternity. Together. Section, the two hugged each other and kissed for the first time in 2 entire decades. Section, welcome to heaven. Section. Section, heaven is everywhere where our hearts and dreams lie. Mine will always lie with you. Always. Section, Minato said and kissed her again. Section, I didn't have the chance to tell you, but. Section, Kushina stared him curious. Section, thank you, for giving me a child. Our boy has grown up into a handsome and good person. Section. Section, Minato. You haven't changed a bit. Section, Kushina said and the 2K again. ... That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.